Madam Clerk, please, you can call the meeting to order and do everything through the Pledge of Allegiance.
No one can hear me in here? All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Meredith Place, Kalamazoo County Clerk, Register of Deeds. I'm officially calling the organizational meeting of the Kalamazoo County Board of Commissioners to order. Deputy Burns, can you please take the roll?
Commissioner DeLue,
Here.
Commissioner Gisler,
Here.
Commissioner Hepler, Commissioner Mazer,
Here.
Commissioner Morales,
Present.
Commissioner Ray,
Present.
Commissioner Strebs,
Here.
Commissioner Taylor,
Here.
Commissioner Wheeler. You have 7 present.
All right, thank you. Commissioner DeLue, would you mind leading us in the invocation reflection, please?
More of a reflection than an invocation. May our actions be guided by compassion, understanding, and commitment to make our community a better place.
All right. Our first order of business in front of us is a request to consider a resolution to determine the term of office for chairperson as required, by board bylaws, Article 4, Section 4.2A. Is there a motion?
So moved.
They need to read them.
I'm sorry. No, you can just say all in support. I mean, just all in favor, all in. My
They need to
apologies.
read the motion?
No, she just said so moved, which means that you made the wording of the language. She said so moved. It was properly supported. And so now you just need to call for the vote, yays or nays.
So we're clear the term of office is,
We're considering discussion.
I'll state the motion. Okay, so I move that we approve a resolution to elect the board chairperson to a 1-year term for the year 2025.
Support.
all right. There's a motion and a support. Deputy Burns, can you please take the roll?
Yes.
Oh,
I'm
sorry, is there a discussion? Commissioner Morales.
Thank you, Chair or Clerk? Both? Chair Clerk. Welcome. All right, so yes, I'm in support of a chairperson, but I want to be clear that in our last meeting, when we talked about the road commission and wanting to see some diversity and inclusivity efforts, I know nationwide, we're in a strain when it comes to diversity and inclusion, but that does not apply to the state of Michigan. So as we go into leadership, as I talked with our previous chair, vice chair, and some commissioners, I would like to see diversity on this leadership board. So it really doesn't matter to me who's in leadership, but it needs to be diversity. And I'll let y'all go from there. If it's not, then I will be the first that I will not support it. And you will hear from me from this day on till our next term.
Is there any other, Commissioner Gisler?
Yes, I'd like to at least modify somewhat of what Monty said. Doesn't apply here in Michigan. Well, Ford has backed down now on their DEI orientation, and that's certainly a Michigan company. Thank you.
Commissioner DeLue.
Yeah, I'm just a question for the board. Since we're now elected for 4 years, I wondered if we would want to keep the chair for 2 years, like it states, or if we want to just continue keeping 1 year. So just bring it up for discussion.
Is there any discussion? Commissioner Morales.
I think if we were on the 2-year terms maybe, but right now if we go per, 1 year, and I'm good with that as we've been doing in our previous cycles.
Commissioner Taylor.
I think we are blessed on this commission with a very deep bench. We've got a lot of good people that can rotate into and in and out of leadership pretty easily. And I'm in favor of a 1-year term, partially for Commissioner Morales's reasons on the ability to continue to switch different perspectives and have different perspectives in leadership positions. So I'm in favor of a 1-year term because I think it gives us more flexibility. But that's my 2 cents.
Is there any other discussion on the motion? All right, seeing none. Deputy Burns, please take the roll.
Commissioner Gisler,
Yes.
Commissioner Hepler, Commissioner Mazer,
Yes.
Commissioner Morales,
Yes.
Commissioner Ray,
Yes.
Commissioner Strebs,
Yes.
Commissioner Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Wheeler,
Yes.
Commissioner DeLu,
Yes.
8 yes.
Very good. Motion carried. All right. Our next order of business is the election of chairperson. In accordance with board bylaws, Article 2, Section 2.6, Sub-Item A, I will call for nominations from the floor for board chairperson. Excuse me, Commissioner Strebs.
Thank you, Chair. Did we have to consider the form of election of chairperson first?
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Madam Chair. What do you mean when you say form? My apologies.
I'm just wondering, on the agenda, there's just the opportunity for the board to move for secret ballot if they want to do that.
Madam Chair, that would be after the nominations are made. I'm sorry? Oh, is it? Okay. All right, I'm sorry. Yeah. I mean, and if you prefer to do it that way now, that's fine if you want to take that vote. That's fine if you want to do it that way.
Commissioner Taylor?
I make a motion that we elect the chairperson by open ballot. We are all elected officials, and I think we should be out in the honest with our votes.
All right, there is a motion and support. Is there discussion? Seeing none? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right. So we will go back to the election of chairperson. And at this time, I'll call for nominations from the floor for board chairperson. Any member of the board may call out their nomination without first standing or being recognized by the chairperson. After each nomination, I will restate the nomination as no second is required for a nomination. Candidates do not accept or decline any nomination. However, a candidate may, if elected to a board office, decline to serve at that time. At this point, I will call for nominations from the floor for the election of board chairperson. Are there any nominations? John Taylor?
I decline.
All right, I hear John Taylor. Commissioner Ray?
I'd like to nominate Commissioner Strebs.
Commissioner Strebs. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Making sure I get my script right. All right, so at this point, as acting chairperson, I will close nominations. And at this time, I will ask Deputy Burns to call the roll. Please state, excuse me. Is there a question? Sorry. At the time that your name is called by Deputy Burns, please state the vote in which you wish to cast by stating Commissioner Taylor or Commissioner Strebs.
Excuse me, Madam Chair. And my apologies. I thought I heard Commissioner Taylor say he declines nomination. Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah, per the script I have in front of me, it says candidates do not accept or decline. However, a candidate, if elected, can decline to serve if they get elected. So I guess he was speaking out of turn. All right. Are we ready for the vote? Deputy Burns.
Commissioner Mazer,
Commissioner Taylor.
Commissioner Morales, Commissioner Ray,
Commissioner Strebs.
Commissioner Strebs,
Commissioner Strebs.
Commissioner Taylor,
Commissioner Strebs.
Commissioner Wheeler,
Commissioner Strebs.
Commissioner DeLu,
Commissioner Strebs.
Commissioner Gisler,
Commissioner Taylor.
Commissioner Hepler. You have 6 for Strebs.
Very good. Oh, we'll make it ceremonial. I told my employees I was chair for about 4 hours. I almost gave out 14 cars. There you go. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, clerk. Okay. All right. Thank you, colleagues, very much. And appreciate your support. Let's see if I can get myself oriented and get us through the rest of the business at hand. All right, so now we're come to the election of the vice chairperson. In accordance with bylaws, Article 2, Section 2.6, Sub-item A, an acting chairperson of the board, I will, as chairperson, I'll call for nominations of the floor for board vice chairperson. Okay. For board vice chairperson, any member of the board may call out their nomination without first standing or being recognized by the chair. After each nomination, I will restate the nomination as no second is required for nomination. Candidates do not accept or decline any nomination. However, a candidate may, if elected to the board office, decline to serve at that time. I will now call for nominations from the floor for the election of board vice chairperson. Commissioner Taylor. Are there any other nominations for board vice chairperson? Any other nominations for board vice chairperson? All right, as chair, I now declare the nominations for the election of board vice chairperson are closed. Clerk, will you please call the roll of commissioners to be called for the vote of vice chair?
Commissioner Morales,
Yes.
Commissioner Ray,
Yes. Oh,
I knew what you meant.
yes. Yes.
Chair Strebs,
Yes.
Commissioner Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Wheeler,
Yes.
Commissioner DeLu,
Yes.
Commissioner Gisler,
Yes.
Commissioner Hepler, Commissioner Mazer.
Yes.
You have 8 yes.
Okay, that will move us now to the election of vice chairperson pro tem. Accordance with board bylaws, Article 2, Section 2.6, Sub-item A. As chair of the board, I'll call for nominations from the floor for board vice chairperson pro tem. Again, any member of the board may call out a nomination without first standing or being recognized by the acting chair, by chair rather. After each nomination, I'll restate the nomination. No second is required for a nomination. Candidates do not accept or decline a nomination. However, candidate may, if elected to the board office, decline to serve. I'll now call nominations from the floor for the election of board vice chairperson pro tem.
I nominate Commissioner Hepler.
I will nominate Commissioner Ray.
I'll nominate Commissioner Morales.
Do we have any other nominations for vice chair pro tem?
just for clarity, do people have to be present to accept? Okay.
Any other nominations for Vice Chair Pro Tem? As Chair, I will declare the nominations for Vice Chair Pro Tem are closed. And Clerk, will you please call the roll of commissioners for the election of Vice Chair Pro Tem?
Commissioner Ray,
Morales.
Chair Stribbs,
Morales.
Vice Chair Taylor, Commissioner Wheeler,
Morales.
Commissioner DeLu,
Hepler.
Commissioner Gisler,
Hepler.
Commissioner Hepler, Commissioner Mazer,
Hepler.
Commissioner Morales.
Morales.
You got 4 and 4.
Ma'am, you'll have to do a revote.
So at this time, unless either of the proposed candidates wishes to decline, we will continue to vote until a majority is received. And we've had a deadlock on leadership votes before. Council, can you provide direction what occurs if we do not come to consensus?
I would definitely have to double check this, but I believe that you would have to take it up at the very next possible meeting.
Okay. Right, thank you. All right, with that, so we will now reconsider. We have 3 nominations in front of us: Commissioner Ray, Commissioner Morales, and Commissioner Hepler. Clerk, will you please again call the roll?
Get an opportunity to comment between the votes.
Sure, that's fine. Let's have, if you'd like to have discussion,
Yes,
Commissioner.
thank you,
Gis-
Chair. Because we talked earlier when we were voting for chair and maybe vice chair also about keeping things somewhat DEI and balanced. And I would say we already have 2 Democrats. I would think the next slot should go to a Republican to show our sense of collaboration and trying to keep the sensibilities that we've done so well for 2 years with a mixed leadership group. And I think I will definitely continue to vote for Hepler. Thank you.
Commissioner Morales.
I am in support of bipartisan leadership, as many of you all know, but I am not in support of not having a person of color in leadership. So we can go deadlock and we can wait for him to come back. It didn't matter if it was myself or Commissioner Ray. It's not like I have to sit there. I've already been vice chair. But if we want to continue to be this example to the community, then it needs to be some biracial leadership on this board, and I'm not going to break until we get it.
Vice Chair Taylor.
I value and I understand Commissioner Morales's concerns. Looking at this as we're just bodies that fill these seats. What we do here represents the betterment of our citizens, how we interact with each other. We're not playing the zero-sum political game of Washington, D.C. or Lansing. We're Republican and Democrat really don't make that much difference other than maybe 4 or 5 controversial votes that we have as a commission. What goes on in our leadership agenda setting meetings is more about the day-to-day operations. How do we support Kevin? How do we let our administrator and our administrative team know what this board is thinking, what the will of this board is? And I believe strongly that in order to have the best, most effective government for our citizens, we need, as a political party, as a group, to share power. And sharing power means that having different perspectives at the table, all with the intent of that we know that each other is there for the right reasons. We're going to disagree all the time, but there's Commissioner Hepler, Commissioner Chair Stribbs, and myself are 3 entirely very different people. I think that it would be a good team moving forward. I do understand Commissioner Morales's concerns, and I do think we need to have somebody from that's not a white person at our agenda setting meetings. And I think that needs to happen. But that's the prerogative of the chair. And I hope that she takes that into consideration. Thank you.
Commissioner Ray.
I feel like I heard you say that we could decline. I want to decline. I'm not really interested in serving as the vice chair pro tem. I do agree with the comments of Commissioner Morales, and I also want to speak to John's point of sharing power. When we talk about sharing power, we also can't be afraid to step down and let other people lead. So it is what it is, and I'm ready to vote again if we're ready to vote again, but I have no interest. You can take my name out.
With that, clerk, take the roll.
Commissioner Ray,
Morales.
Chair Strebs,
Morales.
Vice Chair Taylor,
Hepler.
Commissioner Wheeler,
Morales.
Commissioner DeLu,
Hepler.
Commissioner Gisler,
Hepler.
Commissioner Hepler, Commissioner Mazer,
Hepler.
Commissioner Morales.
Morales.
Still 4-4.
Madam Chair, that, as you know, that vote fails. Therefore, this should be the first order of business at the next meeting of this body.
Thank you, council. So we will take this up at our next session to bring resolution to seating of our vice chair pro tem. Okay. Move us along in our agenda for tonight. Okay. Take us to a review of board bylaws or review of the organizational structure pursuant to Article 7 Amendment, Section 7.1. Entertain a motion for approval of the bylaws and organizational structure.
So moved.
Motion made by Vice Chair Taylor, supported by Commissioner Wheeler. Is there any further discussion on our bylaws? Seeing none, all those in favor of approval of the bylaws as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Worried about long meetings. Eventually, I will get a flow to what I'm doing. I promise to do my best there. Okay, item 7, adoption of a schedule of our regular meetings for the year, item 2024-22. Entertain a motion for request of approval of the 2025 Board of Commissioner regular meeting dates.
Support.
Motion made by Commissioner Wheeler, supported by Commissioner Ray. Any further discussion? All those signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Move to item 8, 2 proclamations. Item 2024-23, request for approval, proclamation honoring Martin Luther King Jr. Do we have anyone who wants to read that proclamation? Commissioner Morales.
How fitting. Whereas Dr. King shared a dream in 1963 that inspired our nation to bring justice where there is injustice, freedom where there is oppression, peace where there is violence, opportunity wherever there is poverty, and that our children be judged not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Whereas Dr. King was willing to suffer physical and verbal abuse and lay down his own life solely for the purpose of eliminating social injustice through nonviolence. Whereas Dr. King demonstrated that social reform can be accomplished with expression of mutual respect, words of societal peace, and an understanding of love for all mankind. Whereas Congress has dedicated the third Monday of January a federal holiday in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and whereas the Kalamazoo County Board of Commissioners believes that in keeping with the dream from Dr. King, that individual strengths should be promoted and systematic barriers that exist should be dismantled. Now, therefore be it resolved that the Kalamazoo County Board of Commissioners, in recognition of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., encourages all people to work to fulfill his dream to create the beloved community in which all people have the opportunity to live into their full potential.
Motion made by Commissioner Morales, supported by Commissioner Wheeler. Further discussion? All those in favor of the proclamation signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Proclamation carries. All right. We'll move on to item 9, communications. Item 2024-1441, resolution affirming that Ingham County is a welcoming community to immigrants. And items 2024-1515, annual report of 2024 RDRA activities at the West KL Avenue landfill. Do any other commissioners have communications in which they would like to present? All right, seeing none, let's move to item 10, approval of our agenda.
Support.
Agenda as presented is moved by Commissioner Wheeler, supported by Vice Chair Taylor. Any further discussion? All those in favor of the agenda as presented, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The agenda is approved. Item 11, approval of our meeting minutes. Entertain a motion for approval of December 17th, 2024 draft committee of the whole and regular meeting minutes.
Support.
Motion made by Commissioner Wheeler, supported by Vice Chair Taylor. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The minutes are approved. Let's take us now to item number 12. This is public comment. Since session is intended for the public only, public comment is a time for commissioners to hear from the public. During this time, anyone may address the board on any topic. If you'd like to address the board, please add yourself to the queue by raising your hand or dialing 9 on your phone or approaching the podium. You have up to 3 minutes. Please provide where you live within the community. An audio timer will sound when your time is up. We have anybody wishing to make public comment? Seeing no one in chambers and no one online, we will then move on from public comment and take ourselves to item number 13, which is the consent agenda. Anyone want to volunteer to read consent agenda? Commissioner DeLu, since you did the you did our invocation.
Yes.
Customarily consent agenda as well. Thank you.
2024-25, recommendation for approval of transfers and disbursements. And I move that this agenda is voted on as one vote for the entire agenda.
It's a long consent agenda tonight. Right, so now you're off the hook for the rest of them. Good. Motion made by Commissioner DeLu, supported by Commissioner Wheeler. All those in favor of the consent agenda say aye. Aye.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
my apologies, that has to be a roll call vote.
thank you so much,
Yes, ma'am.
Council. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Vice Chair Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Wheeler,
Yes.
Commissioner DeLu,
Yes.
Commissioner Gisler,
Yes.
Commissioner Hepler, Commissioner Mazer,
Yes.
Commissioner Morales.
Yes.
Commissioner Ray,
Yes.
Chair Strubs.
Yes.
You have 8 yes.
Consent agenda is approved. That moves us to item 14, unfinished business and general orders. We have none. 15, new business. We have none. Item 16 is again another opportunity for public comment. I've read our statement on that already. If we have anybody wishing to make a public comment, they can approach in chambers or raise their hand online. Seeing none, we will close public comment. And then let's move ourselves to item 17, reports of officers, bodies, administrator, and controller. I think I gotta go first, right?
Yep.
Okay. Good. So now I won't blather all the way at the end of the meetings anymore. And I know Commissioner Gisler is looking forward to the blathering when I spoke with him earlier. So I do want to thank my colleagues for your support, bringing me forward as chair for this year. I commit to continue to be diligent in my role here as one of the voices on this commission. I commit to building deeper relationships with each of you as we work through the year and listening to each of you, and doing my best to support administration and our staff in whatever times come in front of us. We may be facing what could be a challenging year. And so we will get through that together as a community and as a commission. I want to thank Chair Ray for your leadership over the last year. Your support means a lot to me, and your leadership and the role you set, or the role model you are in that, is something that I just want you to know I really value. And wide praise from this commission for you as chair over the last year. So I look forward to continuing our work together. And with that, I'll take it to Vice Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Again, I'd also like to thank the commissioners and my constituents and for their support of me in this role. 2 years ago, we talked about where this commission was and where it was going. I remember saying that I wanted to make sure that the employees that worked here, when they had their lunch at the Bronson Park, or they went downtown for talking to different people that worked in different sectors of the business community, or maybe even different governmental sectors, that they would be proud to work at Kalamazoo County. I believe in the last 2 years, we've moved in that direction. 3%, then 4% pay increases, steps both years, huge benefits that we've increased for our employees. And we've made the culture here in Kalamazoo County of our employees better. And we've got a long way to go, but we're moving in such the right direction and at such a speed that I feel very confident that this is a good place to work. That Kalamazoo County is now a place where people feel valued when you work here. I also want to tell our constituents that we understand that it is your tax dollars, and we will continue to increase efficiencies and look how we can put your money back into our community, not into coffers, but back into our communities and programs that will help people. One of the ways that we're going to look at efficiencies over the coming year is our location, where we're going to be, what we're going to do. What is this administration campus going to look like? Are we getting the most bang for our buck with our location? And can we go somewhere, or can we do something that makes more sense, that saves the taxpayer dollars? I think that that's something that we always should look at. Economic development, partnering with Southwest Michigan First, Land Bank, Brownfield, to make sure that we have good paying jobs, and that when we go to the MEDC and competing for projects, that we get those dollars back here in our community. Increasing affordable housing, and make sure that those that are most vulnerable are the ones that are receiving those benefits. I feel very strongly that lowering that threshold, that percentage, is something that this commission can look at as we move forward into our portal, and I support that wholeheartedly. Partnering with other local units to tackle bigger problems, City of Portage, City of Kalamazoo, the townships. If we work together, we could solve bigger problems like housing, mental health, the gun violence, lots of different issues that I think we can tackle if we work on it together. And most importantly, I wanted to thank our outgoing chair, Tammy Ray. I think you did an excellent, excellent job as chair. You led us in the right direction. You kept us focused, and you cut through the BS a lot of the times. So I really greatly appreciate that. And I'm welcoming our new chair, Commissioner Strebs. I look forward to what this commission can do. There's a lot of positive things that as we move forward and as we put our heads together from different life perspectives, different ideologies, we'll come up with a better solution than we ever could by ourselves. So I feel confident in this group. Thank you.
And Vice Chair Pro Tem is not with us tonight, so that takes us to Administrator Catlin.
Thank you, Chair. Vice Chair, Commissioners, thank you this evening. Congratulations on your elections as Chair and Vice Chair. We look forward to the continued partnership and working with the board. We're here to serve at the pleasure of the board and make sure that the priorities are executed in an efficient and effective way. So we're looking forward to it. Just a couple updates to share tonight. We are asking for the public and commissioners to participate in a survey for that can help us improve HHW, so household hazardous waste, programming facilities that help us with our environment in Kalamazoo County. So the survey is online. It's posted on our social media, and we have some flyers out here with QR codes to help engage residents in participating in that online survey. That'll help us with future needs and programming and facilities as we move forward in the new year. I had sent an email regarding road commission's efforts to educate more of the commissioners and also township supervisors and township officials on what the road commission does and how they adopt practices and remedy issues with respect to roads that they have jurisdiction over. So the next session, they're titling it RCKC 101, but this next session is 102. You don't have to have attended 101 to attend 102, but if commissioners are interested, that'd be January 3rd from 10 to 11 at the road commission. Just let me know. January 23rd from 10 to 11. So I believe I already have you on the list, Commissioner Gissler. So, yep. Oh, no, that's okay.
January 3rd.
Yeah, the 23rd, 10 to 11. So just let me know if you'd like to attend so I can inform the road commission. We wanted to also give a shout out to some phenomenal park staff, Lisa Connolly, Chris Audette, and Mandy Eldridge. Under the leadership of Parks Director Dave Rakowitz, they have hit a new record for camping reservations. As of January 2nd, they collected $47,677 for camping reservations for county parks. And, I really do talk up our parks a lot. I use them every day, and they are nothing short of phenomenal and amazing. So if you get a chance, please use the parks. They do a great job out there. So we're very proud of them and the great work the Parks Department does. Two more very quick things. New board photos need to be taken. So at the next meeting, we plan on before the meeting and after the meeting, we'll have it set up in 207A. If you can wear something that you like to wear, so we can take a new board photo and have that placed on the new website. So please come prepare for that, January 21st. Yeah. I put a note in here. I said, please come dressed to impress. So please do that. And like I said before the committee of the whole, we'll probably be ready we can be ready as early as 3. And then we can also stay for intermission and or after the regular meeting too. So we can have that done. And then lastly, as far as board leadership is concerned, we'll be sending out the calendar invite for board leadership meetings. The first regularly scheduled meeting is January 13th at 3 p.m. We host those online and in my office. So, we'll get that sent out and placed on your calendar. So other than that, I'll look forward to seeing you all in a couple of weeks. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, Commissioner Ray.
I have a question for Kevin. Are these headshots or like group photos?
No, that's a great clarifying question, Commissioner. So they are headshots for the website. So if you all would like a group photo, we could do that too. We can certainly do that.
Vice Chair and then Commissioner Morales.
Since it's my first question of you for this year, I'm going to make it a pretty serious one. Can I use the picture from 2 years ago where I had more hair?
We do have access to Photoshop tools too. So,
Commissioner Morales.
Thank you, Chair. And we're having a professional and not camera. I was gonna say, we're not doing the iPhone thing, right?
No iPhone. No, our communication staff has a professional camera that'll take our communication staff. So Laura
okay.
and communications will take the photos.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Good. Any other questions? All right. Brings us to members' time. We want to start this way. Commissioner DeLue, we'll go around.
Sure. as much as I appreciate everybody here running for office, I want to especially express my gratitude for those that are willing to step up to be leaders. I really appreciate that. It's quite a feat, and I'm glad somebody's willing to do it, and I couldn't think of a better group to choose from. And Chair Ray, thank you for your time. Welcome back to the lower level. You've earned it. Hopefully, you'll enjoy your time down here with us. And and I just want to remind the new leadership, we're elected for 4 years, and I know it's not on the agenda tonight, but I would really like to seriously consider changing the meeting times. And I don't know if that's discussed in your agenda setting meetings, if that could be on the agenda, or if we have to have a motion for it at the next meeting, but I don't think there's any state law prohibiting it. I think we can probably set our own times to set the meetings. Thank you.
We did set an agenda, a meeting agenda for the year. Council, do we have the ability to, we can change our meetings as long as they're publicly posted with sufficient notice, correct?
Yes, ma'am. After that vote is taken, if you decide to change the time of the meetings, we have to post within 3 days.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I thought we just voted on the dates. I didn't realize the times. See?
And certainly
Thank
we
you.
can have some future further discussion, Commissioner DeLip. Commissioner, do you want to elevate what time you'd like to see meetings
I
occur?
would prefer the general meeting starting at 6 PM as opposed to 7. I mean, it's not just, well, selfishly for us. I mean, the whole county staff, they're here all day, and you have to wait and come back at 7. And I just, and a lot of times we have our first meetings at 4 and we're done by 5 or 5:30. Then you're just kind of lingering. And I think we would just be better served starting at 6.
Commissioner Morales?
I'd like to add that was under Commissioners Ray leadership that we got all that 6. Previous years, we were in this for a while. So I don't disagree. I mean, some of our meetings when we have closed sessions do run over to that. And I think it just gives a little cushion. And I don't think you've been privy to heavy times when meetings can go to 1 AM in the morning because we have 100 people online fussing. So I'm in support of it. I just running concurrent like that could be a little tough. So we might need a little pause in between there.
Right. We'll continue. Commissioner Gisler for your member comment.
Excuse me. Yes, I first of all want to indicate that even though I didn't vote for Jen, I wish you the best of luck in being as good as Tammy was. I think I told you this. Maybe I had low expectations, but if I did, you far exceeded them. You were excellent. I wasn't sure how that was going to work out, but we used to be over here with the plexiglass between us, and you were forever slapping sticky notes up on my side, and chastising me when I needed to be chastised, and showing me good humor when that was in order. So I wish that Jen follows your lead and performs as well as you did, because I think you were great. I also want to comment on the fact that John said, we've done a good job, and people now go have lunch in Bronson Park, and people are, pleased to work here. I think a good part of that also, we've certainly played a role, but I don't want to diminish the impact of having the administrator, the deputy administrators, the department heads. I think administratively, we're stronger than we've ever been. And it's not just because we're paying more money and that sort of thing. I think the whole attitude toward working for the county is different than it was years ago. And I salute Kevin for being the leader of the pack, and everybody else that's part of the pack, except you, Terrell. Anyway, I don't want to diminish the role played by the staff. The staff has been exceptional. Thank you.
Commissioner Mazur.
Well, I too want to say thank you to Chair Ray. I thought you did an outstanding job. And as I said last year, when you took the job, he was going to be a tough act to follow, and you've been amazing. So thank you very much for all you did. And I too am 100% in support of a 6 o'clock meeting start time. So I would really like to see us go in that direction. So thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Morales.
Thank you, Chair. So first, thank you, Chair Ray, for your leadership. Coming on here in 2020 and seeing how far we've come, despite scrutiny that we had coming into an unstable board when we got here. It was kind of crazy. I think we've done a good job in fixing up what we need to do for the most part. I'd also like to thank our administrator and his team. He has a powerhouse team, and I remember when that was in shambles, when we were looking to get you the support that you needed. And I'm leading to that with trust, because if we didn't trust you, you wouldn't have been able to pick out who you needed to pick out to be the best team possible and bring forth the agendas that we need to, make crucial decisions on to serve Kalamazoo County. Congratulations to Chair Strebs. When we talk about trusting and holding off to allow others to have that opportunity. When I came on in 2020, that was one of the things that Chair Strebs pushed for women of color. At that time, it was 3 of us. It was about 5 women. I think, was it 5 of us? 6 of us? 6 women serving at that time. And I think it still boils down to trust when we talk about low expectations and not having high expectations. I just want to remind everybody that, media and all our research articles has said that Black women are the smartest women in the world. That just came out the other day. So there shouldn't be any low expectation thoughts when it comes to that. I went to DC this weekend to see our US Senator get sworn in, and I watched leadership from one generation to another happen. And I watched someone who had been sitting in a seat for 50 years, not ready to budge, but she knew it was her time to budge so that we could start pressing the needle on different things. And in that room, it was arranged from whatever this new generation is. I can't think of what they're called. No, it just something started on January 1. Beta. From beta till present. So I just want to say that for me, my vote is my vote. It's not that I have to be in a position of leadership, but when it comes, in my experience on this board, to women of color in leadership, we've had to kind of pardon and still let a white person lead. And then for me, it's a lack of trust, because whatever, for the most part, this board has asked us to do as Black women and Afro-Latina women on this board, we have bent and we have moved forward. It's almost like some of the things that we are pushed, that we go into is the dog fight. And then we have to come back and folks say, well, you know what? No, we got this, sit down, we just need your vote for this. So I want this board to think about this, because I've had conversations, especially with my party, on this. And I don't want to feel like I can't trust folks when we're having these conversations on what may not be important to one person and important to another. So, I'm not going to say I don't see race or color, because I see all those things, and I also see privilege. So it's time, if the expectation is for you all, is for us to trust you. It's time for you all to trust us and be able to sit down and trust us and not feel like you have to guide us through this. Like we're all smart enough and we know what we're doing. And if we don't, that's that time for mentorship. I also went to the African American Museum, and one of the things that amazed me about that is that you start from the bottom and you go to the top. And it started from slavery all the way from the 1400s to what we're going through now. And when I got to the top, we had some change, but nothing really changed. We're still fighting. I was on Capitol Hill, a place that was not built for me. And in this moment right now, it still feels like it's almost not built for me. Like I still have to have this encouragement. And I hear like the sighs in the background, but this is the reality. And I'm going to continue to serve, and I'm going to continue to put forth and champion housing, mental health, doula care, our children, and our county's priorities. So thought y'all was getting out of here early, but I took up 5 minutes. But it's important for me to say that as we continue to move forward in extraordinary governance as we have on our site, and as we always say that DEI is our priority. It needs to start with leadership as well. So y'all have a good night.
I thought Jen was a tough act to follow. Thank you for your comments, Commissioner Morales. Thank you, Chair Ray, for your service. It's much appreciated. And like everybody else said, you did a wonderful job. Maybe we'll see you back in leadership someday. I don't know, maybe, we'll see. Congratulations, Chair Streps. I'm very excited to see what the next year holds and what we can accomplish. And congratulations to your reelection, Vice Chair Taylor. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the next year with this new leadership group and with administration, because our rockstar administration team is just doing it all the time. So that's all very exciting. And I'm with you, Commissioner Morales, on having that DEI piece, especially in leadership. It's super important. So thank you for all of that. I appreciate you.
I don't know what to say after John's State of the Union, but I want to start by saying, Terrell, you're my favorite, regardless of what Gissler has to say. And I want my seat moved. No. Yeah, so thank you to my colleagues for trusting me to lead the board last year. And thinking about like how things in my life has changed in the last year, it was easy for me to step aside and nominate Commissioner Streps as chair. I know that she'll do an excellent job. She's very thorough. She's very knowledgeable. She shows up. We're probably going to have really long meetings, but she's very fit to lead, and I'm excited to see where she takes us. I also want to say, like, I agree with the comments of Commissioner Morales. It's not that I don't support Vice Chair Pro Tem Hepler, because I support him. I support bipartisan leadership. I just think that we have to preach what we practice, and we can't continue to talk about DEI. We want all of these things. We want folks in different departments to do this and do this training, go there, but then we don't make the decisions to put people of color in leadership. So that is why my vote was for Commissioner Morales. I do support Commissioner Hepler, and I hope that he has a speedy recovery. Yeah, so I'm happy to see what we decide at our next meeting. But I am in support of bipartisan leadership, Commissioner Gissler. And I'm sorry that your expectations were so low. It hurt my heart a little bit.
I don't know that that was the case.
Whatever.
It may be, but whatever, you exceeded anything I thought of.
I appreciate that. I want to sit next to him, but not by Dale. So let's see how we can figure that out. All right, that's all I have.
All right. Thank you. Commissioner Gissler, I heard you share, you have plenty of shirts to share. So if we could take those pictures all like bad family portrait style, I'd be open to that. But otherwise, to the, yeah, right. All right. With no other business before us, to the call of the chair, we are adjourned. Thank you.